Welcome to the Love Change podcast. Today,
Welcome.
today we're angry, we're mad, we're enraged. Sometimes change happens in a way that you cannot appreciate it. Even better, it happens in a way that you're upset with the world. You want to start fights. You do start fights. You complicate things because you're just furious.
You wanna chop something into pieces?
Maybe smash some glasses. It's like, ha! At least that.
Release tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about anger and change. I'm a very qualified person to talk about it because I got plenty of that anger. And Kay, are you qualified to talk about it?
I think I'm qualified too, but I'm more the. I don't have like this ragey energy. I guess.
What do you have?
Yeah, I'm more like imploding it. I'm more the
Ah, yes.
imploding type.
The exploding and the imploding.
But let's see.
Tune in for an honest conversation. Kick off the podcast intro, Kay.
We do this podcast because we love change, and I'm really lost when I do the intros because I do them so amazingly good. Just kidding. We do this because we really love change. We care for showing the process of change and the messiness and what we go through instead of showing the perfect, beautiful end result that we might achieve or might not. We really care about the authenticity, honesty, rawness of all that process. And that's why we do that. So we appreciate if you like that, if you share that, if you tell your loved ones, because we want to reach more people. And yeah, we do that every Tuesday live. And other than that, you can listen to that podcast literally everywhere where you would listen to your podcasts.
Yes,
Boom.
yes. If you enjoyed this conversation, drop it a like. This will help the algorithm get in touch with more people. I don't know
What
what
is
this
that?
is. Go away.
Go away.
The camera's back on.
Ah, okay, cool.
Push the button.
Yeah, you might want to see our pretty faces.
What's it called? The I don't know how recognizable this is for any of you listening, so I'm gonna have the conversation with you, Kay. When something happens that you do not want, and as it's happening, you realize how much time or energy or effort it's gonna cost you to get things back the way you like them. What's your initial reaction? Simple example: you're cooking, you drop the pot, everything spills on the floor.
I think my closest reaction is like
Highland suck. Highland suck.
Highland suck, also a good one to say in those moments, yeah. But something to like something that cooks up in you in that moment because you get angry, mad, whatever you might call it, and to
Yeah.
like leave steam it out for a second. So my closest is the damn it. That's what I do.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I usually curse. I drop the F bomb and the S bomb.
Recently in Spanish.
Yeah,
Recently
coño
a lot in
de
Spanish.
chupa chups, all the Spanish. No, seriously, I am a foul mouth. When I get angry, I find it comforting to. Am I low on battery? Is the phone like you should?
Bino.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I usually share those emotions that boil up verbally. I have had instances where I was so angry that I needed to smash something.
I haven't experienced that yet with you.
No, it's a long time ago, so I would. But this is not because I dropped food, okay? This is usually because of arguments with family members or stuff blowing up in my face. Business wise, not even. I think business wise, when things go wrong, I'm usually also imploding. But I do get angry a lot. I have been very angry recently. Um, if you reflect on your life, for instance, I know a change that you did not like was not getting the promotion that you felt like you deserved. How was your anger in dealing with that reality, that change?
It was the first day after coming back from a long trip. and then I got the message that I didn't get the promotion, someone else got the promotion, I would report into that person. Super mess.
Yeah.
I kept on my happy face and just really kept my poker face, went home, laid down, spread my arms and legs, and was just crying for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I was just fucking upset. And like all the
sadness,
relaxation and everything that I felt from the vacation, it was really a big changing vacation also for me. Was like gone in a second.
Flush down the toilet.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was also like this whole, when you start like crying so much that you like, you know, shake in your body. Yeah, that stuff I was really like, and the
snot
biggest
comes out.
Yeah, and also the biggest is like back then was like, why me? You know, I'd be more in that mindset to be like, why is that shit happening to me and not for the first time? Why now? I think my attitude changed towards it. So that's also pretty interesting.
But you weren't angry about it. You were sad.
I was also angry, but I was just so upset that like flooded everything else. The madness or the angriness came later.
In what shape or form?
Yeah, if I would see the person acting the way she would be acting.
That's why you have a big red cross through her face in your you are the reason for my
no, but like then if I would see her actions and how horrible those decisions were, etc., that's where the anger comes, because then you like really feel mistreated even more. The first thing is like, it's very abstract, right? You just get the notification and you're like, okay, shit sucks, but you don't feel it immediately. But in your daily business,
have to deal with her face to face.
Yeah, in your daily business, when you start dealing with that, then you're like, oh god damn it, how am I gonna live through that? So yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I think it's normal to have both emotions, to be sad about something. I am not great at it. If I look at it from a coaching perspective with the 7 layers of energy, people respond differently to stress, but it's a mix between being upset, thinking it is happening to you, that you are a victim of the situation, and that you feel like you're in a fight with it, you're battling it, and that's more anger fueled. And then you have people who just push both those emotions down, drown them out, and just remain quiet for the balance not to change, you know.
But is it pushing it down, or is it just really not getting involved in that situation? I think there are two approaches probably.
I think you
push
cannot.
Down feels a bit like suppressing.
Yeah, which it is.
Okay.
So like you can truly distance yourself from a situation if you allow it to pass through you. And the pressing down or keeping it outside of you is like halting it. But to truly let it pass through you means you're like, this sucks, why me? And then you curse a little bit, and then it's done, and then you're like, yeah, what do I even care? That's a different thing than everything is fine, I just hate her, and like with a smile.
Yeah.
You don't allow your
psychopathic.
you don't allow your emotions to surface.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
that also is not the true you.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's not really you. That's just like, I'm gonna put up a happy face and pretend.
Yeah, because you need the situation to continue the way it is. Because either showing up with tears, like you did that at the workplace, you acted like everything was hunky dory. You did not share your anger nor your sadness with your manager nor your colleague or anything.
Also, I knew it wouldn't change anything. That's why.
That's what you have a lot in corporations.
Yeah, you just swallow and you're like,
Your emotions won't change anything.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that your emotions are not valid, and also like the liberation that's there if you do not express your anger towards the people who it belongs to. I think that's one lesson I've learned throughout my life. Plenty of things in my life were changes I did not like, from growing up without a father, him being sick, migrating, all the things you experience as a foreigner. I never really hung myself up in the why me level of it.
Yeah.
But I did have a lot of anger in my life, and it was always a big source of fuel for me. I would work hard, sport hard, party hard, live hard, just to ventilate that anger, and it never stopped, because I never expressed it towards the people who made me angry.
Yeah, would you say it was the wrong exhaust for that?
I think anger is not as something that you cannot stay angry forever
Yeah,
if you confront the person or situation that made you angry. If you avoid that person or
that's what I mean.
situation,
Yeah,
then you can stay angry forever
yeah.
because it never gets resolved.
You never go to the source.
Yeah,
of
I
the,
think because of my accident, I had a couple of very big fights with my parents, and I really released all the anger that I had towards them, and that gave me way more peace.
Mhm.
I don't have any hard feelings anymore. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Hard feelings, when we
Mhm.
say no hard feelings, it means nobody's angry,
Mhm.
you know? But you cannot say no hard feelings before you say, hey, you asshole, you hurt me,
That's true.
you
Yeah.
upset me, and I really want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna because we're civilized.
Yeah.
But the anger is allowed to be present between us.
Mhm.
And that's
It's a good one.
something I've learned over the years. That's why I'm happy we're doing this episode about it. Within relationships, whether it's romantic or familiar or friends or business partner,
Yeah.
if you do not practice the skill of sharing those hard feelings,
Mhm.
then you can never say no hard feelings
Yeah.
because they are there and they're just being denied existence.
Yeah.
And all those feelings are realistic. You're jumping back and forth.
Yeah, we have a good comment. If you let the anger get to you, then you become bitter in life. I find that really good.
That's very true.
That's really true.
Yeah, what does it mean to let the anger get to you? I think that's
if you like try to shrug it off, like
Hmm.
this whole I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the change. She's just a bitch.
No,
It's like you try to act repellent,
no,
but actually,
no,
it's just like you're not really processing. You're not letting it go through you, as you said earlier,
no.
but you're just trying, like, just brush it off.
Yeah, for me, what I've learned in our relationship, but also with my sister, working together, good friends also, like to be able to say, hey man, you're really pissing me off. Like, like it's not a bad thing to be angry with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's also not a bad thing if somebody's angry with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I made you angry recently. I don't know, remember what it was about. I was making stupid jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were just angry for a couple
We're
of
not
hours.
making stupid jokes.
And then you were like, oh, you could really see that I was angry. I'm like, yeah, you were stomping around and like around the glass, like, duh. Like it was inside your body. And I think for the first time in my life, I experienced having peace with having made someone else angry.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I'm really with you. I'm really learning that this is part of it, and it's not all about peace and harmony. I find that really interesting because what I got coded into is like there always needs to be peace, otherwise it's mayhem.
No.
Otherwise it's the end of the world.
This fake make believe happiness,
Yeah.
while like I think if you are surrounded with people or you are inside your body in a way that you do not feel that there is a diminishment of your experience of happiness if you express the hard feelings. It's not like that's what you were saying. I think about the Buddhist monk. I think the Buddhist monk gets angry and then he can meditate again. I think he allows all those things. He does not identify with them. He does not think he's an angry person, but the emotion of anger is natural and it deserves just as much presence as a smile does.
It's really just, if you don't judge it, it's a emotion. And like we labeled, we like, feel so bad. You just feel a certain type. Yeah, maybe it's not pleasant, but then you just don't judge it.
Have you had your parents angry at you?
Yeah, plenty times.
How would that make you feel?
Super horrible, super drama situations. Yeah.
I cannot really remember my parents being very angry with me besides when I was busted with weed in high school. Uh, Otherwise, my parents were more playing the disappointment game with me.
Ah, okay.
You know, they
Yeah.
wouldn't get angry, they would get disappointed.
I had both, but also could not really distinct it from each other. It's more a combination. Like, I don't know, I wanted to sleep over at my boyfriend's when I was 17. Drama, mama, gosh, like super. You know, like when you think about it now, you're like
In a Christian house?
17. How old have you been? 17? Oh my gosh, like, yeah, it was New Year's Eve. We're gonna pick you up at 3 o'clock at night. Like, super. Oh my gosh, discussions around it. And like, if you see it now, you're like, I don't
It's a
know, but
big
it's
deal.
also just like making me feel how disappointed they are
Mm.
in how I act, of course.
Yeah.
Or every time my mom would discover that I was smoking for a while, it would also be just like the biggest drama moments of like, yeah, I thought you know, like you would be better than that. I'm like, who stopped again
Yeah.
smoking when she got pregnant?
Yeah, I
It's
think that's an
yeah.
interesting question because I have only like most people I know try to suppress their anger until the point that it erupts.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like a dormant volcano. You're acting like
Mm-hmm.
the grass is green and everything's peaceful and calm.
Yeah, and then you
And
become the
then
dragon spitting fire.
yeah, suddenly for no reason, I don't know how long you've been holding in that
Yeah.
anger, but then suddenly I get like if you have a bad day, I get like an avalanche of rage over me just because you were trying to suppress it. And
Yeah.
that's why I feel like we've been misled in that sense. Like if you ventilate the anger that you experience in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's little or big, whether it deserves a curse word or a walk, sometimes you need to cool off, or like I did, like years of kickboxing and contact sport and all that stuff,
Yeah.
then you will not be in a position of erupting
Yeah.
towards the wrong person in the wrong scenario, wrong situation that doesn't deserve that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's I think very important to have the reaction of anger to be proportionate to what's going on,
Yeah.
because then the truly no hard feelings exists.
Yeah.
But usually it's like
It's a build up.
why did she get so angry? I don't know, something's wrong with her,
Yeah.
like these type of conversations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
It's also usually a build up of like
mm,
whatever weeks, months, years sometimes. And then it's like one drop that brings this whole thing out of balance.
I think past year everybody has had mixed feelings about all the restrictions that COVID spread throughout the
Yeah.
world, and a lot of it is sadness. But being restricted is also something that makes you angry. Usually, when we're talking about
Yeah.
change that we don't want, it has to do with us experiencing some type of restriction, disappointment. Like you have to find another way to get to what you're trying to experience in life, and the the ways we are allowing that anger to take place is very little.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well be a bunch of people on the corner of a street shouting just to ventilate it, just to like, how do we teach children to be angry? Not really.
There is
If
like,
they are too emotional, you're like, okay, you need to go to special cool school because you have troubles
yeah,
regulating your emotions.
yeah, it's not very social proof
No.
to like really ventilate your anger.
Mm.
Meanwhile, it would really be a good thing to teach children, be like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
punch something or
Yeah.
like scream for a moment or stomp your foot. I don't know
Yeah.
what,
No.
that kind of stuff, you know. But as soon as someone like screams on the street, you're like, oh my gosh, what a psychopath. I
Yeah.
don't know, I should make a bigger circle around
It's
that
like
person.
in civilization, it has been made taboo.
Yeah.
But like we do find it normal to play video games that we shoot people up and just
Yeah, I killed
digitize
300 people. Yeah.
digitize the violence because you have that inside of you. If you're
Yeah.
in peace with the world, you don't you play a different game.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's really
but then
true.
again, there are so many things that can make people angry. Traffic can make people angry. Your manager can make you angry. Your colleague can make you angry. The coffee guy can make you angry. The rain can make you angry. Do you truly go throughout life and everything that like makes you angry, you mention it? They're like, oh, this pissed me off. What was that?
I think you gotta decide it for yourself, you know.
Mm.
That's again the like, how much do you add up on your list of being angry. It's not that like you're the most peaceful person, someone cuts you off in traffic, and then you like go full on rage and just like hunt that person down.
That's why I think
that
still
doesn't
though
happen.
no, but I still think the reason why road rage is such a big thing that some people sit behind the steering wheel and they're like bad mouthing people and flipping them off.
Yeah.
It's because it's a confined
of course, comfortable
bubble. It's a bubble.
Yeah.
It's not like in the middle of street. You won't be labeled as crazy because it's happening in your car.
Yeah.
And it's become one of the socially accepted things to be
Yeah.
a bit road ragey.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't only come from the road, that rage, you know?
That's true. It's also a very funny video that is circulated around, but like two dogs, there's like a glass gate in between, and two dogs are super hardcore barking at them. And it's like social media, people on social media, and then they open the gate and the dogs are like,
oh wow, that's a great
then
one.
they close it again and the dog's like, ah, go full rage, open. So they really do that like 3 times and just repeats because you feel safe. So social media or car, it's something that you like, yeah, you can curse at people, you can be super mean, but no one is really gonna come your way and be like, hey,
what you talking about?
Tell me to my face.
Yeah, what you talking about?
What you got?
Yeah, so apparently people do have the need to express their anger.
Yeah.
Well, I think social media is a poor place because there people just like disproportionately in the wrong place express frustration that's not related to the person.
Yeah.
While the source of that anger is maybe your personal life, maybe your career, maybe whatever is going on in your
some kind of
day-to-day
disappointment, or I don't know what. That's how I would call it, the bigger sense.
And instead of expressing that where it belongs, you end up taking it either on the road or on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we've got a really big comment here. Let me read that. Pummeling children.
Punishing children for feeling their emotions and take away their basic need is crucial.
Yeah, punishing kids, it's a weird thing. So I think it's a big experiment, us raising ourselves. That's the funny part. That's what I always think about humans. It's not like first there was a older human who explained to all the other humans how to raise the other humans.
Yeah, man.
It's been a big trial and error experiment from the nomadic tribes pillaging and like having so much fights over territory to now where we're at, that most things are like taken care of and you don't
organized.
Yeah, but you don't need like violence to manage society. Everything is done with logic and reason and law.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away the basic emotion of anger, you know, and how much space.
Yeah, and also people overstepping those restrictions.
Yeah, how much space is given to people's emotions in that sense is very little. What do you do when you're angry? Where do you go when you're like enraged with something? Yeah. I know there was this one car wreck place where you could pay and you could get a bat or a hammer and you could smash a car.
That's fucking cool.
And you could do it as a group. It was just an activity because some people go to the shooting range. Yeah. Is a little bit more clinical, but just to destroy and smash something for me is like the epitome of like letting out anger.
You don't cut your so much satisfaction.
You don't cut your bonsai tree when you're angry, okay? No. You grab the samurai sword and you chop some wood or something. Yeah. I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
But letting it out physically is such a big part of what I cannot do anymore. That's why I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Driving around fast is also something that helps when you're angry.
Loud music, loud angry music.
Loud angry music. Head banging. I don't know what you guys do to let out your anger. As long as it's not hurting anybody and it's helping you express that emotion, I think it's very important to do that when you feel like you're about to explode before you address the person with concerns. Because if you show up with all that kinetic energy towards a person, your voice goes higher, your body language is like confrontational. You're just not chill. I think there is this way that you can say with a strict face, hey, you're pissing me off. This and this angered me. but you stay calm. Instead of what you see, that people suppress it until the point they start shouting,
Yeah.
start screaming, start throwing stuff, start getting physical.
I think it's also important to recognize for yourself the difference between reacting and responding. So if you're really mad, you might regret what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
To like really take a bit of time, half a minute, and breathe a bit. Like really take a deep breather.
The classic one is that it went red before my eyes.
Yeah, of
Can't
course,
remember.
but you know, like I'm always in the camp of like I don't want to regret something that I say to you or whomever.
Plenty of
So
people.
I'm like, hey, okay, breathe, just like deep in, deep out, deep in, deep
I
out.
was doing it recently. No,
Yeah,
like, so-
absolutely. It really calms you down and it makes something else out of you, and that really helps. Like if you don't want to regret it, just like
Ventilates
give it
it.
a couple seconds between the bark back
Yeah.
and the response,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that might make really a big difference. So yeah.
What are you angry about right now?
Mm.
No comments.
No comment.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know.
Are
Don't
you
wanna talk
angry
about
though?
it.
Are you
Yeah, a
angry?
bit.
You're a bit angry.
Yeah.
And this is so common that you're angry and you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And this is the way we've been programmed. We've been labeling anger as something that's shameful, that's bad, that's not constructive. While
Yeah.
actually, if you know that you made somebody very angry, it always makes you think. It always makes you think.
Yeah. Yeah, also this like my first reaction when I'm angry is like, ah, never mind. Like super flushing it away.
Yeah, that's what I meant with like.
It's just like, you know, I was like, yeah, never mind. It's
yeah,
fine. It's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's fucking fine. It's not.
Yeah, when it's fucking fine, it's not.
Yeah, so that's also just like, but yeah, don't express it. That's how I got ingrained, and I think this is really not the right way.
Yeah, it requires a steady foundation to witness somebody else's anger.
Yeah,
you know.
but I would also find it really important, like the children topic came up earlier, to really explain your kids and be like, hey, mom and dad can be angry at each other. That's part of life. That's part
You
of
can
an
be
emotional
angry at me. I
spectrum.
can be angry at you.
But
Also,
it doesn't
the
mean
kids.
anything. Yeah, that's also okay. And how do you like ventilate that? That's
Well,
really
what do we
important.
do when we're angry?
Yeah, and how do we then reconcile afterwards, etc., etc. You know, I think that's really important part of explaining kids how emotions are made. You know, and it's not all about happy jolly and everything is great, and the other one we just like put under the carpet. No,
it's not how it works.
It's really part of it. It's more like finding coping mechanisms that work for you. Either it's addressing it early enough, or if it like really erupts and be like, hey, I'm really angry. As you said, you can say it in a pretty decent voice and be like, hey, you're really pissing me off.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
I might come back to it later. I cannot talk right now, but don't.
It's good to know what you're angry about. So if you're listening to this episode and you feel there's some anger sitting inside of you, maybe you can take a moment to center and really double check with yourself what you're angry about.
Yeah.
And usually we cannot change the thing that we're angry about, because that's not always how life works. But we do change the way we deal with that anger. So first of all, recognizing what you're angry about and seeing in what sense you have dealt with that anger. Have you expressed it in either way that helps you release it physically?
Yeah.
Because it is a very kinetic emotion. It has a lot of like energy on it. And secondly, if it concerns a person or group or situation or organization, confronting them.
Yeah.
That's why activism exists. That's why people protest. If you're angry with something, if something touches you in such a way that you're like, I cannot sit with this, you express it. You don't have to wait until you reach that threshold. Little things that upset you, you're in your right. You're expressing your boundaries by saying, this made me angry. You know? And it helps you maintain your own sanity and peace, and also ensures that you will not really explode or come out of the gates guns blazing when a situation does not call for it at all. Like to have a disproportionate reaction to, why is this cup dirty, and then boom, throw it, break it while you're upset because you didn't get a kiss goodnight. whatever.
Yeah, but
You
it's
know?
also important in those moments to realize that the amount of anger that comes out is disproportionate to what happened, and that maybe it's
Then you
something
know that's a
else that
good,
you
yeah.
stored. It's not easy to be like, yeah, actually there
Gotta
was
be
like overreaction,
really honest with yourself
but
about
then
like,
it's also important to be like, hey, actually, yeah, I'm pissed because you came home super late last night and didn't kiss me goodbye and didn't do whatever dishes, whatever.
classic Amor.
Yeah.
Classic Amor. Get used
That's
to
not
it.
what I meant,
Get
but
used to it.
yeah, I think it's really important to be honest with yourself and be like, actually, I'm angry about something else, and I should also tell you, you know, and not because the cup is dirty, I'm super mad at you. No. So.
Got
yeah.
anything else to drop for our angry listeners?
Release it. I think that's really important. What we spoke in the beginning, also the comments saying that you become bitter. It's not
Don't
a good
become,
place
yeah.
to be. Yeah,
If you let it
it's really
marinate,
important.
if you keep the anger inside of you, if you do a lot of that imploding, you might turn bitter.
Yeah, it
that's
also
true.
gives you those. Yeah, but they kind of stay. You know, it's not really great. But yeah, it's just not a good. It's not a good feeling to cultivate in your body. It's really nasty. I think that's
Yeah, and I
important.
think it's also fair to mention that it's not always related to people. The things you get angry
Yeah.
about can be simple things as life. You cannot reach your loved one, you're in quarantine.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it makes you angry. And if you look at people, I like the bitter comments. When I look at old people, I see people become old who are happy
Yeah.
and just having fun with the end of the ride, or they're bitter. And the bitter ones usually also got angry some point along the way and didn't express that anger
Yeah.
in the context where it needed to be expressed. So they carry it with them. They become grumpy. They're fighting with everything.
That just fests into something. It really fester.
Let it out. Yeah, let it
Yeah.
out. Let all that anger out.
Yeah.
And
Don't hurt someone.
don't hurt someone. No, keep it safe.
Right?
Keep it simple. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening, tuning in on the Love Change podcast. Lovely co-host Kay, Amor. Thanks for tuning in, and please share this episode if you thought it was valuable for you. Helps us reach more people and have more impact. We'll see you on the next episode. Or you got something left for us?
I'm skipping the next two, most probably.
Kay is going on a
Might
well-deserved holiday. So she's not present. I will be hosting you by myself. So more topics, amazing to show.
Much wisdom to share. Yeah. Apart from that, that's it. Thanks so much.
See you next week.
Episode.
Love Change out.
Love Change out.
Peace.